Hello and welcome back to the Queers On podcast with me, Alex Mitchell.
And me, Hollie Noble.
This week we're joined by another fantastic guest. He's a comedian from the North East. He's doing some incredible work. He also runs a gig up there, which is amazing. Please welcome to the podcast, Connor Reid.
Hello! Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
But
We really appreciate it. You've come all the way down from North Shields. Down
From
to
North
Leeds.
Shields, yeah. Shout out North Shields. Never thought that was going to happen when I come all the way down. Yeah, just see Newcastle.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. When we have a guest, we always start with the same questions, which is where are you and what you're drinking? But we're in our studios in Leeds. So what we're saying, what would be your dream drink to have right now to have this chat with us?
Right now, you know what it is? I have about 12 cups of tea a day easily. But if I had to pick one...
That's insane.
I'm a housewife, essentially, so I would just...
Caffeinated?
Regular tea, whatever caffeinated means. I'm not that posh.
Oh my god.
We
Yeah,
don't-
so not decaf, basically.
I love someone calling you out this early.
Caffeinated. I'm just...
I'm learning a lot about myself.
Yeah, it's great.
But if I had a choice, it would be a hot honey margarita, which I've just recently discovered.
Did you write it down?
I did.
It's red on your phone, isn't it?
I
You've
prepared.
prepped.
Oh, you've been listening to the pod.
Trust me.
Amazing.
Because I'll be honest, I drank it, I like it, I couldn't tell you what was in it, so I had to write it down.
A hot
It's a
honey margarita.
Oh,
So
it's
tell us
gorgeous.
what's in it.
Oh, well, I've got the recipe here.
Oh my god, this is the
I
best
love
we've ever
this.
done.
We've got a tequila, we've got some honey, fresh lime, yellow pepper, peach, and chili sauce.
Nice. That does sound good. Like,
Wow.
tequila is my nemesis.
I
Like, you know,
love
everyone has that
margarita.
one drink where they're like, that destroys me.
See,
Mine's
I quite like it,
tequila.
I'm settled on it, whereas rosé, I'll get violent. I've said violent, and do you know what? I just have a buzziness where I'm like light on my feet, and it's quite dangerous. So
Quite
Hate
dangerous.
rosé.
I am.
Hate rosé.
I think that's probably... I don't mind a rosé.
Oh, grow up.
I don't think it matches my vibe. Maybe it
What-
does.
do
Maybe
you
I
mean
need to learn more about
like
myself.
a luminous one, like a what they call Echo Falls or something.
Oh god, no, that was when I was like 14.
Okay,
We were on
so you want
FM
like a
Falls, but-
paler.
Yeah, just a nice, if I'm in an Italian restaurant. I'll
There's
have a
some lovely
rosé.
dessert roses, which is what I like, 'cause it's very sweet.
It's really,
whereas
really
the stuff
sweet,
you get at the
yeah,
theatres and that very cheap.
Yeah.
It's awful. It doesn't go down well.
God. Ugh.
This is the gayest episode of the
Yeah.
pod we've ever done. This is unbelievable.
Can't
If I have a rosé, I get violent. Let's have a hot honey margarita. The rosé in the theatre is terrible. This is amazing.
Oh my lord! Have you ever had Moscato?
That sounds
I like
again too
Moscato.
fancy. What?
No,
what
that's
is that?
that's a dessert wine, but it's white.
I like a
and
barefoot
it is
Moscato.
I just know the
Barefoot
three
Jack
colours.
Wonderful.
That's it. Three
Yeah.
colours.
Drinkers,
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you names.
I think I only ever drink red wine if it's in sangria.
I love red wine.
But you forget I forget how good sangria is all the time.
Sangria is so good.
And
Have
it
you had
gets to
white
summer and you're like,
sangria?
No, I don't really like white wine.
Oh,
it's
Cava?
just not as good. It's
Cava
just,
sangria?
but it's just not as good as normal.
Yous are so middle
Straight
class.
laced.
I'm sorry. This
Yeah,
is
we didn't know
so-
this about ourselves before
We
the
didn't know
podcast.
that. I love sangria because
I do.
it just reminds me of being in Spain or wanting to be
Being abroad,
somewhere
yeah.
else, not in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
one day we have the sun,
Yeah.
get a jug, find some ice.
That's me today. Absolutely.
It
Get
is.
a jug, find some ice. Where are you finding ice?
I live in a house with 4 other people. When the summer comes around, ice goes quick. Like, there is a fight for ice. Like it is.
Just get an ice machine. Or a fridge with an ice.
Okay, and
There
yeah,
we go.
middle class
There we
and
go
get
again.
an ice machine. Well, can you not just pay a man to make it for you? That's what that was.
You can buy it in bags as well. You can buy bags of ice.
Yeah, but it goes quick.
Yeah.
It goes quick. I live with and drink with borderline alcoholics. We're all British. We're peak British. When the summer comes around, it's like, right, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, but the sun's out. Get the beers in. Like, it's
Yeah.
just as soon as it starts.
Yeah. I've quit drinking, so I'm not sure what.
Did you quit drinking?
Yeah. Only for the year.
Dweeb? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Yeah, I
For the
decided.
whole year?
Yeah, full year, yeah. And do you know what? I'm not finding it difficult.
It's not. It's I barely drink. Although
Yeah.
I do like a tequila.
Yeah.
I don't really drink, so it's very rare. So
Yeah.
when
didn't
when I
really
need a
drink
real
either.
bitching session, I'll go out and I'll get steamed.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I like
that's
that.
a good idea. That's a good rule to have. I have it where I don't drink in the week. That's my rule. But also I try to be vegan in the week. So I try and be good in the week, and at the weekend I just drink a bottle of vodka and
Just bite a cow.
eat a whole cow live. Just fucking down some vodka. Really go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I eat a lot of corn. Anyway,
Make a look warm. Anyway.
let's just fucking get on with the podcast.
Oh yeah, we're deep into it already.
Right, okay, next question, and clearly you've listened to the pod, so
Yeah.
you kind of know what's coming up. How do you think Woody from Toy Story identifies sexually?
Oh God. Well, he's very into Little Bo Peep, isn't he?
He is.
So I think Woody, to be fair, is very heteronormative.
Wow.
In
I think
my
that's
opinion.
the only second... Was it the first one?
No, I was making a gesture about something else.
Oh, his
Woody.
wood.
I don't think. No. I think I agree with you. He's heteronormative, but he doesn't mind a little Bo Peep finger. That's all I was going to say.
I was going to say that string on his back. That is the equivalent of pegging in my book in the Toy Story world.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Wind me up, baby. Just and then there you go.
There's a snake in my boot and there's a snake in my pants.
Oh my god, you are so sick.
This is my favourite bit of the podcast all the time because it's always a stupid question, and then I go, "Oh, I've got something funny to say," but my brain never engages.
Yeah.
So I just say it. Like it's like when we discussed. We previously, it came about because we previously discussed the kinks of certain cartoon characters, and I said that like Buzz Lightyear's into pain. Like, and he's asking Bo Peep to step on his balls, and I said that forgetting that this goes out into the world.
Yeah.
And I get regular DMs about that comment.
Oh.
People were not impressed with that comment.
Good.
Yeah, they really were.
You should be outed as the
when it came
freak
out, 'cause
you are.
I did Leicester Comedy Festival a couple of years ago, and my brother and sister came to the show, and then it was my first year in comedy, my second year in comedy. I had no money. I was working part-time as a teaching assistant. None of us did, so we got a hotel room where I slept on the sofa and my brother and sister top and tailed in the double bed. So it's not gay.
Oh,
and
yeah.
But we got
I think the word is
so,
incest.
Yeah. We got so smashed, because we was like, it was my first show, done it, we got so smashed, and then we got back and we spent a good 2 hours in the hotel room discussing what we think the kinks of all the Mario Kart characters were.
Amazing.
And it was one of the... there's not a day goes by where I don't think about it.
I love
Honestly.
the sound of your family.
Oh, mate, they're all mental.
I think Keeping Up with the Mitchells is
Keeping Up with the Mitchells.
it is coming out.
It was one of the greatest nights of my life, honestly, because we just done the show. It was amazing. We got absolutely smashed. We don't see each other that often, and then we went back and spent 2 hours talking about how we think Waluigi's into leather, but like everything is leather, and so you can't see his face, but you know it's him because the mustache is so pronounced through the leather that you know it's him. So we had this full. Again, I was hoping people would laugh at that. I'm going to get comments about this. People are going to DM me again about this. But that's
Yeah.
Well, thank you for asking for a character within my generation. I mean,
That's
I know
okay.
Toy Story was actually late 90s, wasn't it?
It was the first all CGI.
Yeah, so
I don't think it was
slightly
94.
before I
you know?
was born, yeah.
Really?
94, yeah.
I didn't do that on purpose.
I'm 94, considerably before I
How
was
old
born.
are you?
I'm 23, so
Oh, you're
2001 baby.
very
Ooh, this
young.
heating blanket's just kicked in.
Oh.
I can feel that on my
It's the
back.
first guest we've had who's younger than me as well.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because you're 23, as I heard on the podcast. Is that
I'm
right?
24.
24 now.
24. Yeah.
Gordon Bennett.
I know.
Don't ask me.
No, I wasn't going to. I was going to spare you, Holly, to be fair, with your very nice palette of wines and ice dispensers.
Ice machine, palette of wines. In the last episode, apparently, our dogs every morning make her breakfast in bed.
They do.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That's a new one.
imagine living that fucking life.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not. It is nice. Yeah. Every morning.
Yeah. You
Breakfast in
live
bed.
a fucking sweet life. Imagine.
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, fuck the rest of you. So we're here. The topic we had today was we want to talk about camp culture and
Camp
being
culture.
camp
Yeah.
and what comes with that. And I really feel like we've hit the nail on the head already with Rosé and theatres.
We
But-
have, yeah. I am not the stereotype to disprove this, okay?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's like a bad example.
You also run youth theatre.
I run you. Yeah, I do
That's
a lot
very
of gay
exciting.
things. To be fair,
Yeah, but that's really cool.
oh, I
think
love it.
that's
It's my
great.
favourite job. I mean, I used to be a plumber.
What?
No way.
I mean, you don't have to act that shocked.
No, so-
No, that is.
if you rung a plumber
I'm
and Connor
sorry.
turned up, you'd be like, I think you're at the wrong place.
Is your dad on the way?
Oh, I tell you, I used to be a plumber. It was very nice. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But I didn't. I left. But then I went to musical theatre. But it was
How long did you plumb for?
about 4 months. I stayed on
Oh,
the
okay, yeah.
apprenticeship.
Is that the verb form of plumbing? How long did you plumb for?
How long did
I
you
hope
plumb
so,
for?
because
How
I
long
love
did you
that.
plumb for? Yeah, I
How
think
long
so.
did you plumb? Because that sounds gay.
How long did
Plumbing.
Because what's the other?
Plum.
How long did you plumber for? It must be
No,
plumb.
how much did you plumb for?
How
much?
No,
How
how
much
long?
did you plumb for?
Right.
Jesus
That
Christ.
sounds like sexual
We've all
advice.
got a prize.
Oh my god, that genuinely really, really shocked me. I love it though, because
Yes.
I've actually thought about being a plumber, like as a woman. Of
course
I
Of course you
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Of course you fucking.
But
We're
don't
really
you
not
like?
disproving the stereotypes this season, are we?
Don't you think that'd be cool? Or like a
No, it wasn't cool.
You're
It was
doing like, is it
awful.
called a blue collar job? That
A blue-collar job.
Is that-
Working class. Yeah.
is that what? No, like a physical job that's blue
blue-collar
collar.
job. That's such a middle-class thing
Is
to
that a
say
job
about
for peasants?
Oh my god, please.
blue-collar. Oh, I love it.
What does that
Funny little
mean?
people you throw coins at.
Does
Does
that-
job for them?
I thought blue collar was like physical labour job.
Is
isn't
that a
it?
very American term, isn't it? I presume it comes from Demin. Demin? Am I pronounced that right?
I have no idea what you're trying
No
to
idea what
say.
you're talking about.
Blue jeans.
Denim.
Denim?
That
Denim.
one.
Denim.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm having
a
such fun
demon.
on this podcast.
You demon.
Don't start. All right. But yes, that type of fabric, that's far too bush for me to pronounce. Is I feel like that's where it comes from. It'll be the Americans, yeah.
Oh,
and the
wow.
cowboys
Okay,
and the
yeah.
physicality. I'm making that up completely. I'd never
Yeah.
let me
Sounds like a lie
university.
because you couldn't even didn't even know what the word denim
Oh,
was.
this is such a rivalry that's being born between me and Holly. This is.
Start a fight.
Anyway, tell us about plumbing. What led you into that? What kind of things did you do?
You'll hear my stomach.
Why
I've
didn't
only
you
had chewing
like
gums
it?
and Lucozade.
God.
If you hear my stomach rumbling, that's Lucozade. But ignore me.
Welcome to the ASMR episode.
Yeah.
I
Just
know.
stomach rumblings and the Geordie saying Lucasade.
But yeah, I did plumbing. I was close at that time. Didn't come out till I was 17. So yeah, when I left high school, I was kind of pigeonholed by family in a very nurturing way of they wanted me to go on to something that would make money.
Yeah.
And they
Have a
thought,
trade.
Have
Yeah,
a trade,
yeah,
the famous old phrase. And yeah, so that's I kind of got pigeonholed into it, and then it was very obvious that I was quite depressed in the months I was there and hated it. And in the end, it didn't work out financially, just because the job they always said there was always money in it didn't end up having money in it, because the people I was doing apprenticeship with didn't have the work coming in to train me.
Right,
So it was
yeah.
kind of like disproving their point all along. It was very nice to be right.
Right, but with no money.
Exactly, yeah. And then I left and went into musical theatre. So yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. I guess, yeah, I mean, we did not help with the stereotype when we were openly aghast that you were a plumber.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that.
But it is, I guess it is one of these things where, again, linking back to the topic, the idea of being camp and camp culture, these two things wow, that was the loudest grumble
Honestly,
I've ever
I
heard.
might
you
end up
okay?
shitting on your couch.
Not on my blanket, please. Not on my blanket.
The heated blanket's going to make the smells.
We've got
my
3
God.
more episodes to record today.
It's actually, usually I'd be embarrassed. This is amusing me. Yeah. I'm getting my kicks. I can't wait for the next grumble to come out.
We're all just waiting for it. But it's not plumbing and being camp, not two things that associate with go together at all. I mean,
Yeah.
how does that sort of? I guess it's different because it's not something you were that interested in and wanted to do
Yeah, it wasn't for
anyway.
me.
So, I guess whereas musical theatre is obviously seen as a very camp profession.
And even that I hated.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I left it. It was like permanently being in a Glee season. I mean, it was terrible. Everyone burst out with song. I was like, it's a 15-minute break. Give it a rest. Go and have a lie down. We've already
Right.
done 3 hours of singing and tap and jazz and all this stuff, and then people were still up singing their hearts out.
It was too gay.
It was too gay. Yeah, the internalised homophobia was rife. But yeah.
Oh god. I mean, yeah, it is very interesting because I think with being camp as well, I say it all the time. I on stage, especially when I started, if I were doing a very, very rough gig, so when you start out and you're doing back rooms of pubs in places that are, very, I did a gig within my first sort of 2 months doing comedy. I was in the back room of a pub in Burnley. There was no one there, and just before I went on stage, I swear to God, about 50 builders walked in,
Yeah.
and I was like, at that point, I was definitely prejudging audiences, which you try and not to do now, because again, it's not the right thing to do. When you look at someone and go, they're going to be homophobic, because
Yeah.
that's not a good thing to do anyway. And also, a lot of the time they're not, and a lot of the time, actually, those are the audiences that enjoy it the most. Like, I much prefer gigging in front of an audience that's more up for it. We talk about, you go to some gigs in like art centres and stuff, and it's just very like, everyone's there, no one's there to laugh, they're there for the art. Fuck off, that's just loads of bullshit. It is, I hate it. Just laugh because it's funny. Like, I don't need to do something. So I would do this thing where if I was doing a really rough gig when I was starting out, I would do what I call dialing up the camp, because that I would always find, like, either almost as weirdly as more of a defense mechanism would be like, they're not going to hurt me because I'm just too weak and vulnerable. It was just the whole kind of thing.
Clean up the victim's side.
And also almost becoming more of a caricature. You know, people did enjoy that, perhaps because these people aren't like surrounded by, you know, in small towns there isn't a gay scene. They don't know many gay people, so when they see a gay in the wild, it's exciting, right? It's like, oh, well, we've come out to see them. Like, so that was always how I did it. But I think there is also a pressure to perform with being camp. Like, sometimes it feels like you really have to conform into, like, you can't sometimes be camp and sometimes be butch. You can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't drift between the two.
Well, it's interesting. I see in my personal description of camp, I have a complete divide in between what is camp and what is gay. So, and I think that is a pressure that is put onto us, that these are the same things, and I hate that, because I think camp is such a broader queer umbrella of culture, really.
Yeah.
So many things can be camp. The Bear in the Big Blue House was camp, but so was, I don't know, Dot from Coronation Street or Peggy Mitchell. But how they are in the same category blows people's minds, but they are inherently camp, and that's got nothing to do with being gay or sucking dicks. So, you know what I mean? It's kind of like there is a huge divide. She was, she's a bad example. But yeah, that's the thing that I think about camp is, absolutely, I think as gay men we have a pressure to perform as camp and be the stereotype and be that character on stage. But I think there needs to be a big distinguishment between being camp and being gay, because Michael McIntyre, very camp. Surprisingly, not a homosexual. But so that's the thing. That's my bell I'm going to bang on today, is that they're separate things.
Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting take on it. It's a take that I've not heard before, but I
it makes so much sense, though.
It does. It makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's weird because we've talked about it before on the podcast and things, like the idea of just things being camp, and objects can be camp.
Inanimate stuff.
TV show can be camp.
Yeah.
We talk heavily about the traitors. That is the camp.
It's so camp.
It's so camp.
Traitors.
It's so insane.
Yeah.
It's so camp.
Outfits, things like that. You go, that's a camp outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even in drag, you have camp queens, which in the UK and Australia are put on a platform because it's our heritage. Go over to the States, and camp can be used as a way to dress a queen down, of not being as on par with them. So
Really? Okay.
Michelle Visage recently used camp as a negative once on the panel, and it caused quite a bit of outrage.
Wow, you know a lot about this.
Oh, I've done my research. I didn't come here for nothing.
That's me.
I've broke politics.
I think it's like there is camp as well is interesting, because I think camp also comes from and derives from places in the world where homosexuality is illegal, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't be homosexual, but you can be camp.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think like I've been lucky enough to do some gigs out in Eastern Europe before, and it's I do a show out in Eastern Europe as an openly queer man, and I go on stage and I come off, and people are often like come to talk to me about it afterwards. I mean, the best we've ever had is I came on stage in Bulgaria, and this woman came up to me, and I don't think she was from Bulgaria, I think she was from somewhere else, and she came and she was crying with laughter, and she went, so good, because in my country you are illegal, which is just the best review I've ever had. Right? Just absolutely amazing. But again, those kind of nights I've done over there have all been very much like, the room is very camp. There are men and women dressed in the most incredible, wonderful outfits.
Yeah.
It's so flamboyant and so lovely, and the rooms are like red velvet curtains and carpets and armchairs and sofas. It's like almost speakeasy kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's like it's so cool.
Which 1920s America, more importantly, camp.
Camp
You know
is
what I
fuck,
mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole concept of jazz, camp.
Exactly. It's so true.
Yeah. So I think, and again, so I think over in places like that, I think it also, but again, I think camp derives from that as well, because obviously in this country in years gone by, years and years ago, generations ago, when like again homosexuality was illegal, we still had things like the molly houses and things like that, which
it was
again
all
were
there.
very sort of. And I've just read like an incredible book called Radical Love by I think his name's Richard Blackmore, but it's about the first ordained priest who was performing gay marriages, but he was doing them in what they called a molly house, which is where just gay people would go, and they would tend to be above a pub, and it would be a complete lock-in, and they'd have secret codes to get in and stuff. And then every Friday they'd have marriages, but the marriages were a joke. And he got invited to these molly houses, and the person who was running the molly house was like, "I want you to actually perform proper weddings. Like, let's have something serious here." And they were the first people to do it. Obviously, Victorian London ended very badly for everybody involved, but it was, it was a really interesting, fantastic book. I'd highly recommend it. But it was just a really interesting story. But again, I think there's that idea of those sort of camp ideologies, because it was illegal and there was such a clear line of you can't do this, that it was so radical. You had to go so far the other way. Like, it's a full spectrum of either being like completely straight, conforming to everyday life. Then you had in the middle, homosexuality is illegal. There was no one who was just homosexual.
Yeah.
That you couldn't be. If you were homosexual, you were camp as fucking, like, as to the max, right? And you're on that side. And so I think, again, that's, for me, I think that's where some of these sort of ideologies and ideas around how was camp formed, basically, comes from that, and being, it's quite a radical thing. Which is cool.
Maybe it's because we were moving away of it being a negative, because camp, I was speaking to someone who was probably born in the late 70s, grew up in the 80s, and they say they were never once, and they are quite a camp individual, but straight man, they were never once called camp in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was that way of
It's
saying...
been reclaimed, I think.
100%.
So exactly, and I think that's why it no longer means that anymore, to mean gay.
Same with queer, though, like the term queer.
Reclaim that 100%. But, I mean, that is also like... this is going to be very controversial to say. I love stupid homophobia, right? Like, when I'm on stage...
Everyone take a deep breath.
No, because often I'm on stage, and the only heckles I ever get are outright homophobic, right? And I remember once this guy was so desperate to throw some homophobia out, but he just wasn't sure what word he could use to insult me. Because I think in his head he was going, could I say camp? Oh no, that'd be fine. Could I say queer? Oh no, probably not. And he genuinely ended up calling me a fruitcake, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, the 80s are fucking cool.
That's
like,
brilliant.
this is absolutely insane. Like, and that I absolutely love. I think that's the funniest.
Have you ever
thing in
had
the
any
world.
homophobia in comedy?
I'm, touch wood, very fortunate that I haven't encountered it from audience members, from acts, yes.
And acts and promoters.
Acts and promoters.
Well, we had Vix Layton on recently.
I listened and I was there.
Connor was there.
I was one of the gays.
The promoter who only referred to us as the gays throughout the entire evening.
Has it been
was
like
me, Connor, and
casual, like offhand comments, or like outright kind of in your face?
It's almost hiding in plain sight. I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be presented as a joke, but it's come out of nowhere, and you felt the need to say it. And they will also carry that humour onto stage. There are times where I perform on stage, and there's an individual I've got in mind who, after I've performed, will say, but it'll burn in hell. But it's every time, and it will.
What
God.
It
the
will.
fuck?
It will also happen in the green room. It's like, it's just like constant up the bum
Yeah.
jokes. And it's like, we aren't close enough to where you can make that comment
We're
about my
not
sex
friends.
life.
We're colleagues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people forget that. 100%.
Yeah.
And also, like, even if you were friends, you've got to be bloody close friends to make that joke.
What I've enjoyed seeing is that they performed for a gig, and the audience, they kept cracking these jokes. And luckily I wasn't performing that night, but we had other gay comics on, and the audience weren't laughing along with it.
Good.
And I was like, you have become dated, and what you're doing now doesn't even flow with the majority of the audience.
Yeah.
that's
So I was like,
wonderful.
you're getting your medicine now. You're gonna have to rejig what you do.
That's
That is
brilliant.
Wonderful. That is wonderful.
It's the first time I said that out loud that I've experienced it more from acts than I have with audience members.
100%. Still think the industry is built on is built on aspects of discriminatory behaviour towards any group that isn't any marginalised group, right? I do still feel like it's built on that. We talked about tokenism with Vix and how we are often made to feel like we're on bills not because we're good, but because we represent a certain community.
Yeah.
And it's like, actually comes a point where you have to reclaim that and go, no, I'm here because I'm good. I'm here because I deserve to be here. And they asked me to be here because I'm good. Mm-hmm. And they're just hiding behind the fact that they're hiding behind their prejudice. But yeah, I do think you're right. I've experienced some from audiences, but not that regularly. It's definitely more regularly off stage, often in a green room. It's one of the things as well, like one lazy joke on stage, I can sort of forgive because you're trying to play the room. So I can sort of about forgive that. It's when it then either continues on stage or continues off stage. Mm-hmm. And that was my issue with the night where we referred to as the gays.
Yes.
Once on stage, fair enough. Bit of a throwaway. Not funny. But that man's not funny, so fair enough. Throw some shade out, why not? But then when you go into the green room, he's still referring to us as the gays. And it's just like, no, we're here because you booked us because we're fucking good.
Yeah.
You booked us because we're good. We've done way better than you have tonight. You've put us in a really difficult situation where we have to go on stage feeling uncomfortable and not really wanting to be here anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think all three of us smashed it that night, to be fair. And that was the first time I met you. And,
I even think like the entire night, I was so surprised to see the likes of you there and Vix there. And I was going, we're all on unpaid tents? I went, hang on a second, this is a ticketed evening sold out no one's getting a penny apart from the headliner and the guy who runs it. I was like,
yeah, that person's fair. But that person will always be the first person who, when advertising gigs or, we often... when you're starting out these smaller gigs, the way they're advertised is on comedy forums, and he will be the first person to comment under someone else's going, you should be paying your acts. Or
the hypocrisy.
A pro night needs to have pro level people who are being paid pro fees, and it's like, well, put your hand in your pocket.
And the delusion is they consider themselves a pro.
Yes, they consider themselves a pro.
I think I figured out who you're talking about now.
Yeah, and they're just not a particularly pleasant individual, but they're also like, I feel like we are going for this one person as well quite a lot. They are not the only one. There are there are multiple promoters, and there are lots of promoters who are lovely and wonderful and do a lot of hard work to bring back the image for there are good promoters in this country who work bloody hard, and they're good independent promoters. They don't just work for The Glee or for Monkey Barrel or for The Stand. You know what I mean? They are good independent promoters who are just good people trying to give people a nice time. I mean, that's ultimately why they do it. Whereas there are other people who are like, I want to make money out of this. So other independent promoters who are like, I will make money out of this, and to do that, I will bully acts into trying to get better. And that's not the right way to go about it at all. But again, I find that sometimes what I often use in those situations, I will again dial up the camp, but I use it as an intimidation thing. Like if that I did it that night with that person, like if there was a promoter or another act who's being particularly unpleasant, I will just I'll refer to them as darling for the rest of the night. Or hun.
Right, yeah.
Just really get under their skin. You know what I mean? Which is, to be fair, probably not a good thing to do, but I love doing it. just to really get at them, because I'm like, well, if you're going to make me feel this awful, I'm like, I will play up to it, because then you're gonna not feel uncomfortable at anything, but you're gonna go, what the hell? What's going on here?
Yeah.
I'll bow down to that just to wind you up.
What are your opinions on like? Is it a positive being called camp in the industry or a negative? Because I find camp can be very much a pigeonhole and actually still used as a way of discrediting your style of comedy. It's just camp, or it's just this, or it's just that.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it because all my comedy heroes, from Larry Grayson to Frankie Howard, Kenneth Williams, like all that lot, I absolutely love them.
They made it their own, yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and but I still find even today, I will avoid calling myself a camp comic or gay comic. Yes. Because people are really limit that as like, oh, well, all you do is talk about being gay.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I get that 100%. I think for me, what I do very much is I will, I don't refer to myself as camp that much anyway. But again, it's just something I've always had sort of issues with, where it's like, I don't, particularly within the LGBTQ plus community, I still don't really know where I fit. You know what I mean? Because it still feels like you have to conform to a certain aspect of that. And I'm bisexual, pansexual, and it's things like I enjoy, but I enjoy getting to be camp sometimes. I enjoy doing that stage, but I enjoy doing that in my life. I enjoy, wearing camp clothes. I enjoy doing those kind of things. I previously have had things like I love having my nails done. Like that's camp, but I do love that. But also, I'm a massive football fan. I'm a massive rugby fan, and I have that, and I have those influences in my life. And very often it feels like you can't do both. You definitely can't do both at the same time. But even in life, you can't do both. So I very rarely use the label often because I don't feel like I can, but also because I don't want to, upset or annoy other people or surprise other people. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because I still think it still feels very binary. Mm-hmm. That is the most insightful thing I've ever said on this podcast.
I really enjoyed that.
I was going,
that's quite good.
Very serious. Very serious.
This will make the social media clip.
I don't think that I've ever because I guess camp isn't really used to describe women very much.
That's what I was thinking. What's your take on it?
So I hear butch a lot more. Not
you have it in the complete other way.
Personally, but that's the kind of thing that I. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. People are talking about butch lesbians or femme lesbians, and again have to put you in this box. I feel like I very much just flip between the two. Sometimes I do look really tomboy, and then sometimes I look really feminine. And I just think, again, it's another category that someone wants to put you in.
So they can understand.
And it comes back to being heterosexual. Mm-hmm. Are you a boy or are you a girl? Which one do you fit in this relationship? Yeah. Me and my partner have been asked before, which one's the man?
Yeah.
And it's it's literally the point that neither of us are. That is the point. So I think that's what it comes back to personally. And I think that being camp and having that camp culture is something that we've reclaimed, and rightly as you've said, it doesn't come down to individuals anymore, but I think that all of those terms are heterosexual people that are trying to put you in a box and say, well, where do you fit in with us?
100%. Yeah, completely.
I love that went full circle to actually having an answer now. That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
Purposeful podcast.
I can close that book.
Wonderful way to end the podcast. It's almost like we're professionals. Connor, thank you
We've got a studio now.
We've got a studio now, yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and genuinely having a really lovely chat and a really interesting chat. But, it's been a lot of fun as well. So thank you so much
Thanks
for coming
so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Where can people find you?
Connor Reid Comedy on basically all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Now it's up there, but the Instagram and the Facebook, I've got a bit on there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And please follow us as well on social media at Queers on Podcast. I'm still on tour. Please buy tickets to that. There's, I think, 2-3 shows left by the time this goes out, which is exciting. Hollie's also performing all over the country. Follow her on social media. You can find out where she's performing. And we will see you next time on the Queers on Podcast. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.